Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining the beta sympathetic or adrenoreceptors tissue and actions they perform. So usually the sympathetic pathway works with alpha and beta receptors, but for today's video, I'm just going to focus on beta receptors because there are specific functions you need to know that I just felt like if I learned that, I could be able to distinguish it from what the muscarinic receptors might be doing. Maybe I'll make a video for that later. But we have a bee, and this bee has a pair of wings. So let's call this B1, and let's call this part B1 as well, because it's the same pair. Now we're going to call this part before the abdomen of the bee B2. And let's call the mouth area B3. And I'm going to draw sharp edges around here. Let's pretend it's like a saw. Something sharp. Let's also pretend this place is super sharp. Just the first edge. Now, I'm going to use a story to narrate this because it might make it easier to understand. Now, let's imagine this bee is going to war. And because he's going to war, he's anxious. He needs to fight or run away, because sympathetic system from basic sciences just means fight or flight, while parasympathetic is rest and digest. So he's going to war. He has decided he's going to fight, and to do that he needs to get prepared and ready, right? So B1 is responsible for renin secretion, right? So let's put the kidney here. And it might not be a pretty kidney, but let's just imagine it's a kidney, right? And this will help us remember number one function of B1. It helps with increasing renin secretion. And the function of renin secretion is that it helps in releasing. It is released into your bloodstream when your blood pressure drops too low, and it helps in controlling your blood pressure and maintaining healthy levels of sodium and potassium in your body. So think of it like this: when you are going to war, your blood pressure is going to be high for sure, because all your heart is going to be doing more work. Think of it, your heart will beat faster and the rest. So your kidney is there to just regulate that, and to regulate that, it increases renin, which will help in regulating it. Now for the second part, it's going to be the heart. Like we said earlier, his heart is going to be pumping more blood or doing more work than usual because he's about to fight. So B1 also helps with increasing the force and rate of contraction in the heart. Now for B2, so imagine a bee going to war, right? Does he want to poop, or does he want to rest at that point? No, he doesn't, right? Or think of it, you're about to fight someone. Is that the time you're going to poop? No, you will not. You probably want to do that later. So imagine B2 as a belt. And let's just say this is where the bee GI system is. So I'm going to draw an intestine, or pretend it's the small intestine. So it is preventing anything from going out from that part, right? So we're on the path of war. The bee is getting ready. Another thing he wants to do at this point is to make sure that he is reducing his GI tract motility. He doesn't want to go to the toilet at this time. So he's going to slow down everything that has to do with the GI at that point, right? Because if there's increased motility, he's going to want to go to the toilet multiple times, like diarrhea, right? But B2 is going to make sure he's not doing anything like that, right? So let's put this as a sign. And it's also below the B, so maybe that helps. And this is above, maybe that will help with increase, and this will help it decrease. Another thing it's gonna do is make sure that glucose is being generated. Actually, I'm gonna put the liver a little higher, maybe that, so you could drive it home a little more. So I put the liver somewhere around here. We'll pretend this is where the liver is, right? At least it looks like that. Maybe even put a G mark on it. You're going to war. You need a lot of energy to fight, right? So since we said this part is going to be for increase and this part is going to be for decrease, B2 is also going to make sure that we have enough glucose, and it does that through glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. So I'm going to put that down here. And what the first one means is that it's just breaking down glycogen to make glucose, and glyconeogenesis means making glucose using other stored fuels in the body like fat or proteins. So you're generating glucose from fat or proteins in the body. So B2 is responsible for this. And if it helps, you could just think of the wings of the bee as B1 and think of, like, the middle part as B2. So now for the third part, B3. B3 is going to be doing something extremely different. Now, if you notice, I made sure to put something that looks like a saw, at least what I think like a sharp-edged zigzag saw would look like. I put it right there on top of B3 and also on one part of the wings. And this is because B3 and B1 will stimulate lipolysis. Now, I'm going to try to put like a cheese here. Let's imagine this bee is trying to break down this cheese, because cheese is fat, right? Or adipose. So we're going to say the bee is breaking down adipose through a process called lipolysis. I don't know how it's pronounced, but I may have butchered that pronunciation. I apologize for that. But B1 and B3 are responsible for breaking down fat. Now we're gonna imagine this end right here as just B, like a summary of beta receptors and what they do, right? Or he produced honey already. He's not doing it now, but he already produced it, right? And it could be like, I don't know how bees produce honey, but I know they produce honey. Honey does contain protein and glucose. Or we're gonna say that beta receptors aid in amylase and protein secretion. This is a summary of what the beta receptors do. I hope this video was very helpful, and I have left this image here. Maybe I should attach a link so people could like just download it. Maybe it could be very helpful to you in prepping for your exam. So I hope this helps. And if it did help, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends who might also want to learn about this. I really appreciate it. And have a great day.